was a moment. I needed to get where I'm going. I needed to fight the opponent. The power that moves me now. Protect me when evil surround me. I know it's a power living in me. People don't see it, but it's all around me. Yeah, they told me it's over, I'm finished. But God said just wait and bear witness. He split the red ties, made the dead rise. Just let them handle his business. They told me confess and believe. I got so much dirt on my knees. Cause I've been talking to the Lord all day, telling them all of my needs. I need mercy, need grace. Need strength, I need faith. Need power cause the world's dark, having trouble seeing your face. All of my life, I had to fight. I done got tired of fighting. You give me life, you give me light. I got the flow to shine. In my darkest time, I love you and nothing of me. I never have to worry cause for your power. I know you made a way. For your power, I know you made a way. Oh yeah. Came to my rescue and you always said the day. So many times that you been faithful. For your power, I know you made a way. Oh yeah. Woke up traumatized, opened up my eyes, couldn't see the sunshine. Mama could have died cause I still on trial, life is such a fine line. I had to deal with the pressure, I had to fight through depression. I told my sister don't give up, quit. Got up for changing the weather. Sometimes you dance in the rain, sometimes you break through the pain. But whether it's a clear or a cloudy day, I'ma keep trusting his name. Made me a believer, taught me the presence and power of Jesus. Made a way where it wasn't, gave me strength. Hello, hello, hello. Happy, what is this, Monday? Man, I don't even be knowing the days of the week anymore. All I do is work and sleep, sleep and work. Nevertheless, today is a good day. I just really wanted to come on here really quick and just give some encouragement or whatnot, because this encouragement was given to me. And I don't even know if that person know how they encouraged me, but it did. I hope that everyone had a good 4th of July, if you celebrate it or not. You know, we get a little funny nowadays with 4th of July when we was some firecracker popping, sparkling, running with little suckers back in the day. Now it's not our Independence Day. It don't even matter. Just celebrate with your family. That's how I look at it. Don't celebrate the day. Celebrate family. It's just another day for family to come together, barbecue, laugh, enjoy time spent. You know, a lot of times it's only the holidays that we spend time with our family. Some of us, I don't know about anybody that's listening to this video, but family is important. And if holidays are days that family can come together and be as that unit that it should be, then so be it. Celebrate. Stop being so deep. I ain't celebrate Christmas no more. Y'all worshiping a tree. Shut up. Celebrate your family. When that man is a truck driver and he's traveling all these long days and hours during the holiday and can't see his kids, but he off on Christmas. And guess what? He can be with his kids. Celebrate. Jeez. So again, I hope y'all had a good 4th of July. Mine, I didn't do nothing, honestly. I did one lady's head and I came home and we missed the fireworks because the internet said they was going to be on the 5th and they were actually on the 4th. It didn't say that anywhere on the 4th, but the next day it didn't say the 5th anywhere. Go figure. So my little mama was upset because we didn't get to see the fireworks, but it wasn't my fault. It was the news fault. But she was upset. I'm like, listen, I'm upset too, okay? It's not my fault. And other than that, over the weekend, I didn't do nothing else. I maintained that chill mode, you know. I don't usually do much over the holidays. You know, my family's in Ohio, so I don't know when we gonna celebrate something together, but it wasn't this week, and that's fine. As long as I know everyone's doing well right now, and that's good for me. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm off work for a couple days because of these feet. Y'all know I got to get over the other side of that Amazon, man. I got to get on that schedule where I can make my own schedule because, man, I'm too young to have feet problems. However, the doctor said my feet are healthy and look good, and the joints and bones. I still got good steppers. But anywho, and tomorrow's the Chris Brown concert. It remains yet to be seen if I'll be there, but I moved my work day to Thursday so that just in case. But I plan to get there. I'm going over there in the morning and see if I can get a ticket without all these crazy fees that the Ticketmaster and things want because it's ridiculous. Like if I want to go, say my ticket's $400. That ticket's gonna cost me $600 if I get it online. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. But I don't treat myself for anything, so we'll see. Anywho, power. That's what I really wanted to come on here and talk about. Um, I don't think we know how powerful we really are, truly. And it takes something like a storm sometime to give us a sort of like a little analogy of the importance of power or what power really does for us. Yeah, I'm going to run it as a parallel to our electrical power, the power in your house, power of who we think is in charge, power on any level, the power that we give to others or we rely on a source for. That same power I feel like we have in our hands. And I don't think we realize it. You know, there's much power in the things that we do when we're doing it for the right reason. There's much power in the things we say. That's why we got to watch what we say. You know, a lot of things, you know, we say, oh, the power of life and death lies in the tongue, and then we reckless with our tongue. Like we have a lot of power. I remember not too long ago, my bonus daughter and I was riding, and we went to get pizza, and it was raining. It was raining like crazy, like cats and dogs if it could, you know, lions and tigers or something. It was raining big. And I asked her, I said, do you believe that Jesus gives us the power to stop the rain? And then she looked at me. She was like, I mean, yeah, but I doubt it. So I began to command the rain to stop in the name of Jesus. And we ran, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking like, come on, God. But I believe that I can chill this rain out with the power of what I was saying through his, you know, my words, his power through my words. Yeah, there we go. And I just continued to command the rain to stop in the name of Jesus. You know, stop now. God showed her that we have the power. Show her that you give us the authority over the weather and said things. And I just kept going. And I kid you not, 2 blocks and a left turn later, the rain starts to slow down. And she looks at me. And then it stopped. And she said, I mean, it could be a coincidence. I said it could be, but guess what? It was God. Kids are so smart. She is 9 years old, and I'm like, I'm gonna make you understand what I'm saying, because she say a lot of things that probably don't, you know, need to be said sometimes, and don't realize the power of the consequences of her words. Which means that when you want something, you won't get it. That's powerful. No, I'm just kidding. Let me quit playing. But I was talking, you know, as we know, there has been a hurricane. Hey, Gary, how are you, fine? How are you? Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing well today. I'm only here for a brief moment. I'm only here for a brief moment. I've been trying to get on here and do that other video, but it's like you ever feel like you just ain't been. I haven't been released to do it, so I'm like, well, I guess I just got to keep changing the day. I thought it was the other day, but it wasn't. But anywho, as far as having power in Christ, there's three types of power. We have the power of our faith, the power of the Holy Spirit, and the power of authority. And I believe that it's that authority. We're afraid to have faith. I think that's what hinders that power. Um, we don't trust the Holy Spirit, although we say we believe God. I think that's what hinders that power. And then the power of authority. We don't believe we carry the same authority that God has. No, we're not God. I'm not saying we're out here, we're the creator and we control all things, but He's given us power. He's given us authority over many things, but I think we choose not to operate in it to a certain extent. Some of us because we don't understand, some of us because we just don't know. But there, yeah, sometimes I think so, Gary. I think it was something I was doing that day that really just came up, but I know it's going to come back. But I was talking to my buddy Diane. Y'all know she been going through a lot of storms down there in Houston. First it was the tornado, then a week later it was just like a powerful thunderstorm. And every time, for whatever reason it is, God seemed fit, she would reach out to me and say something. Whether it was me encouraging her through the storm, whether it was me talking to what tried to creep up as fear, whatever the case was, she chose to reach out to me in these instances. And just like the other times, now it's a hurricane coming. It's 36 hours, da da da. And I maintained the same thing we've been saying through the other storms. I said, okay, well, what are you going to ask God for through this storm? Because in my mind, you're going to come on the other side of it. So instead of going through it fearful, instead of going through it scared, thinking you're going to have damage or it's going to strike right where you at or something like that, how about we just ask God, what are your plans during this storm? What is it that you're bringing me? Yeah. And so I was checking on her periodically. And at first she wasn't like responding back. So I figured she's asleep. Then I saw somebody on TikTok and they was like wading through water. I think it was like Katy, Texas. And I don't know the vicinity of that, but that prompted me again to check her out or whatever. And yeah, I real life do. If I'm your friend, whether we done met on YouTube or not, I real life care, and I'm gonna real life be checking in on you if I got the ability to. If I can check on you beyond hitting you on a DM or something like that, I'm gonna definitely hit you on a DM if I can't do nothing else. But if I got your number, yeah, I'm gonna call you. Hey, you all right? What's good? But anywho, she texted me back and was like, it didn't really do much, a lot of wind, big wind, big wind. But she was safe. She said, I'm alive. And then we continued to talk a little bit, and she was telling me how her house is the only one that had power. And I told her about my situation. I've been through I think it was a Cat 1 and a Cat 2 hurricane. When exactly, Gary, when I was in South Carolina. And in the places I live, for some reason, wherever I lived, I never lost power. But I could call a friend around the corner, power out. I could call a friend down the street, power out. I can look across the street, power out. But here it is, my house, maybe my building, the power is there, you know. And then she had spoke to a family member that's not too far away. Then she spoke to a family member that's like right there. Let's say, let's describe it as front yard, backyard. Front yard ain't got no power, but her in the backyard got power. It's my belief that because she didn't go through that storm with that level of fear that she had before, because she had faith to believe that everything was going to be all right. And during that storm, before the storm came, she did something constructive with her time. She wrote out a plan, is what I believe she told me, for a set amount of time. And when that storm was over, she's the only one standing with power. And that's why I always say, how you go through a storm is how you come out. Now, somebody might not, believe that goes together, but I do. I think that when we're doing the best we can for God and we choose to serve the all knowing, all powerful God, then those things happen in your life. Who knows what anybody else had been doing days before or that day when that storm was approaching. I love the fact that it always comes to me when she talks about a storm. What are you going to ask God to show you in this storm? What are you going to ask God to reveal through this storm? I'm always asking that question because for me, when it's a storm, that's a moment that God takes to sit us still. Yeah, sometimes we got to take shelter and cover. But at any rate, we have to be still during that storm. We can't get up, get in our car, go ride, and there'll be some fools out there, but you know what I mean. uh, what we do in our stillness, I believe, is where a lot of our power is generated from. Hey, Marissa, I think that a lot of our power is generated from what we say and how we move in certain situations, how we move through storms, how we handle tough things. If you have something hard you're dealing with in life right now, and number one, you moving in your own power, that's the first mistake. We spend a lot of time, oh, I trust God, I know He's gonna work it out. Now let me see how I can stick my hand in here and fix this, move that, turn this around to work for me, because God can always use my help. I think that's where a lot of our power goes to. How much power is in that stillness? How much power comes in that time where you sit there and ask a question and begin to write your answer? I think that's what happened. What are my plans for the next 2 years, God? And then you begin to write. Some of us don't think that. Well, some of us wonder. I ain't gonna say some of us don't think, because some of us, we know some of us don't believe God speaks to us, so that's a given. But some of us wonder, what does God's voice sound like? That's part of it to me. When we sit down and we don't know what we about to write, but we know we about to write something. Then when you get done writing, and you're looking like, wow, that's elaborate. That's powerful. That's the power He gives us. He gives us the power to hear Him, feel Him. We need to be better at discerning things. You know what I mean? Like when I first moved to South Carolina, my thing about moving there was it's going to be near the ocean. I'm scared of hurricanes because I know I'm a weather buff. I follow the weather all my life, but I ain't want to get caught up in one. You know what I'm saying? But I remember initially being frightful about storms, and I wasn't. And I'm not saying I'm like in this super perfect walk with Christ, but I am more adamant about being right with God right now. But back then it was kind of like, I love God, I'm saved, and yeah. But I still had that thing in me that knew that if I trust Him, then I gotta trust Him. And I would be like thinking like, oh man, what if I move here and it be another Hurricane Hugo and all this stuff. And I remember like, I'm gonna go down here and visit and see how it is. And I'll never forget, The day that I got my ticket and everything was confirmed for me to go, there was a storm out in the ocean. It's on its way across the Atlantic. And it was, sure enough, headed this way, headed that way or whatever. And I remember thinking, like, man, how in the world the day I'm going, a storm gonna come? But here's where power came in. And I didn't know how much power it was going to carry, but I said it. What I said was, you know what? I ain't scared to go. I'm going to go because every storm that comes, it's going to turn. And I went on about my trip. Lo and behold, the storm got to a certain spot before it got to Charleston. It turned. I don't even think I thought about it until like the third storm. Every storm that came once I moved there, literally either, I think the first three might have turned, either turned or it lost its steam at that same exact point. I believe in the power of our words. I believe that we can speak things into existence, not in the sense of I can sit here and say, yes, when I go in my kitchen and look in the ice box, it's going to be $1 million. Not in that sense. In the sense of having faith and trusting God and believing and knowing that He's going to make a way, that He has me covered regardless, that if it was unsafe at any of them storms, He would have given me that strong discernment that said, I need you to get in your car and go. There's only been one time I thought about evacuating the storm, and I was going to carry my butt to Atlanta. And there I did listen to that voice, and it's like, just stick it out, stay put. Make sure I had some candles that I end up not needing. But what happened? Everybody that went to Atlanta was stuck in Atlanta. We got to understand the power that we possess. You know what I'm saying? That little thing that tells you don't do this or do that. We have to start listening to that because that's carrying a lot of what we need to cause things to come to fruition. A lot of times you ever had an ideal or a thought and you didn't do it, and then the next thing that took place, you realize, man, if I had to just listen. You relinquished your power. You relinquished your power. Once you ignore that thing that's telling you, move this way, move that way, especially if it's not something telling you to move in the opposite direction of God, we got to start listening to that. That's your power. That's the gift He gives us that says, I'm going to help you along the way. We're on this path, this journey. We know this. But we always get those things to say, go right, go left, stop right here, stay right here. Run a little bit right here. Wait a minute. Take 2 steps back and then bust a left. I mean, it'd be just like that. And half the time we miss a lot of those marks because of fear or not understanding the power and dominion that He has given us to navigate through most things. And I was just a little bit hyped about her story, about how everybody around her had no power. But here it was, her house, the only one in the area, in the vicinity, with power. And I thought about that. Sometimes that's us in our family. Everybody else around us get going haywire. But for some reason, everything's smooth for us. And they probably looking at you like, she thinks she better than us because this and that. No, it's just the power you hold. It's the power you carry. The power you carry. If you throw a storm in a calm manner, you will come out in a calm manner. Though the lightning, thunder, rain, and winds remain calm. Exactly, Gary. I'm telling you, that's my whole thing. Like, the way you go through a storm is the way you come out. If you go through kicking and screaming, you're going to come out same way. Because you're going to start kicking and screaming about what you think is damage done and not paying attention to the damage that was prevented. You know, a lot of times we get held back, or we feel like we're stuck or stopped. But God will stop you because there's something ahead that could hurt you. I don't think we think about that part. You know, I always say procrastination could be, it's like a blessing and a curse, you know. Because on one hand, you might procrastinate and you're always late when you need to be on time. But on the other hand, you might procrastinate any given day, and had you left on time, you would have been caught right smack dab in the middle of something tragic. I think that's where discernment comes in. Yeah, you need to be on time for important things, period. You can't, unless something crazy happens that causes you to be late, you need to be accountable for being on time so that you can be taken serious for whatever it is. You know, you don't want to be the person that's always late. But those times where you're doing something, like I have days where I'm like trying to get out of here by a certain time. Next thing I know, I look up, it had been 15 minutes went by and I don't even realize it. But it's all because in the beginning I procrastinated getting started. I sat there and I told myself, well, you know, if you start at this time, you got this much time, whatever the case may be. But maybe on your way, you noticed there was this huge accident. So that's why I say sometimes procrastination can be a blessing, but sometimes it can be a little bit of a hindrance. I'm not going to call it a curse because I don't like speaking that stuff. But, you know, like I said, this was just a little bit of a hype off of Diane's situation, being the only house on the block with the power. I told her, I said, when I used to get storms in South Carolina, I said, I think I lived in a little sweet spot. Because I'm telling you, I've been in storms where I could go around the corner like 3 minutes up the road and it's flooded, but there's no floods. Though I lived around, let's say, about 7 ponds at this time that could have overflowed, but they didn't. It was just always a space where I was not without my power. I could see, I could cook, I could do everything that I needed to do when others around me. You know, that's why we can't take those things for granted, because a lot of times we pay attention to what everybody doing around us, but we don't realize that sometimes you're doing way better. Everything ain't what it seems. You know, we could be looking at all these houses thinking they good until it get dark and ain't nobody's lights on but yours. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just know your power. Operate in it fully. Don't discredit yourself thinking you don't possess that power, because you do. And I'm not saying be all mystical, talking about, yes, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to rub my crystal ball and these things are going to appear because I can manifest anything in my life that I want. If that was a true statement, honestly, guess what? We'd all be good, right? Why would we need God? We'd all be good. I know I would. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to be sitting here telling y'all you can manifest any life that you want. Do we really believe that? That's the most powerless person that really believes that, and be having all hell breaking loose in their life, ain't living no kind of way, but they steady saying they can manifest whatever life they want. I think by faith we can, because I think that the life God has for us, it's way doper than anything we can imagine, anything we can think of. So by faith, yeah, you can have the life you want, or a better life than you want. But just to say you can sit here and speak this, oh, I want, that's like saying, you know what, when I wake up, I want to go in my kitchen and it's going to be French toast with strawberries in it because I'm going to manifest it. And then when I go outside, my Kia is going to be turned into a Lexus because I want to manifest it. Let's stick to the power that you do have. And let me know how that works out for you. But yeah, that's the end of my words on that subject of power. What y'all know about that? Make sure you're moving in it fully. Make sure you understand your God-given power, the abilities that you have to start businesses, run businesses, become CEOs, whatever the case may be, whatever you think you can't do, I promise you, you probably can. And if you can't, it's because you're not supposed to, or you got the wrong approach. Go back to the drawing board and find out where the power is lacking, where you need to plug in to draw, where you need to draw from. Make sure that God is always the source, though. If He's always the source, then you'll have all the power you need right in your fingertips. With that being said, y'all pray I go to see Chris Brown tomorrow. Listen, I'm so excited about a concert I don't even have a ticket for yet. Listen, I'm practicing my dance moves and everything in my head. All I know is I'm going solo dolo. I don't care. And I'm going to have a good time. I've not been to a concert in a little while. The last one I went to might have been a gospel concert. I don't know. But I'm going to be in there singing and dancing, enjoying life, having a good time. Yeah, baby. It's all good. I'm gonna get some rest today and try to get these feet in order so when I do return, hopefully they ain't hurting tomorrow and I gotta go to the show. But I'm still gonna be there, hurt feet now. I gotta get ready to go back to work on Wednesday and do what I does. Yeah, baby. Solo to the concert. Why not? Everybody don't want to see Chris. I do. And I don't know if as a household we can afford 2 tickets to the Chris Brown show. I just got a little bit of a window to be able to, if I choose, if I choose. That man told me, he pulled a me on me, Gary. He told me, go ahead and go. They're going to do a ritual there, and you're going to come home thinking you're 21. I was like, boy, shut up. I am covered in the blood. That means I'm going to go to the concert and think I'm 21. I never think I'm 21. You know what that means? 21, I can't even remember those years. I know I probably was with child or just had a child. I'm not going to think I'm 21. I'm going to think that I'm a 51-year-old woman who finally did something she been wanting to do for years. One time I resold my ticket because I didn't have nobody to go with. And the second time I found out, hey, Selena, I found out he was coming like the day before. So I ain't have no time for preparation. So I don't really want to miss it this time. Because that means I'm going to have to wait all the way probably next year or something to see him. So, yeah, probably going to be right at the Chris Brown show tomorrow night. I'm going to the box office in the morning. I said that at the beginning of the video. I'm going to the box office and see if I can get some tickets without all those fees that are not resale. Because sometimes they'll have like actual tickets still left. Because on the phone, it say start at $90. On the internet, it say start at like $400. I'm like, what? So I hope they still got some of them $90 or $180 something. I just know I got to be in the house. So if I end up in the nosebleed, that's where I'll be dancing. I'll be dancing all the way up in the, because I'm there. And then after that, I'll be back on track. There's nothing else I need to do except for get my car. Like all this had to make sense to me. I had to say, okay, how would I be too far away from getting my down payment for my car if I do this? Will I be, what's the way I get that back? I was like, you know what? I'm good. 2 weeks of work, I'll be where I need to be. Still, same old same, I didn't have to pay something this time, so hey, I'm going to use it for my pleasure. Plus, man, y'all know I deserve some kind of excitement for all the. Woo, this has been what is it? 9 months. This has been a interesting 9 months. So I need the biggest woosah ever right now. Then I'll be back to business. I'm gonna try, Selena. I'm gonna have fun for everybody. I've been over here practicing my dance moves and looking at every clip I could see from the concert. Yeah, it's very challenging. But you know what? I was just talking about the power we have in our hand. That's why we survived those challenging years, because we don't relinquish our power to the enemy that allows us to think we're defeated. Tomorrow night, you know, long as I carry the power of God in me, a challenge is a challenge. They are meant to be. And like me and Gary just said, how you go through those things is the way you come out. So hopefully I'm coming out like a champion. Listen, in that challenge, in that we're gonna call it a storm. A challenge is a storm is a challenge. You know what I mean? But that it's like during that time, I can honestly, we are human, so I can honestly remember every time where I about had a meltdown. But even in the meltdown, I was like, okay, get it together. You've been here before. You've conquered bigger. You've been through worse. You know what I'm saying? So that's power right there, is to be able to talk yourself through a situation that would otherwise be scary or cause you to give up. Give up ain't nowhere in my name, so therefore I will not be doing that, because I already know that when you're in the biggest storm or the challenge of your life, that's right before your breakthrough. Imagine how many people relinquish their power before their breakthrough, before that thing that you've been wanting, needing, praying for. It get crazy. Don't relinquish your power before your breakthrough comes. Don't relinquish your power before your breakthrough comes. It's this note I took from church yesterday. He was talking about faith. And he said, faith is not destination, it's transformation. I mean, it's transportation. Obedience drives the car of faith. Faith is not a feeling, it's a knowing. That's why I say you got to know the power you possess, because that is what's going to keep your faith intact. It's going to keep your faith intact. And I'm just going to be, alrighty, I'll talk to you later. I just want to be, in that position to move in my God-given power at all times. It's starting to rain outside. Wonder if it's gonna be a storm so I can get excited. If I hear some thunder, y'all can see me. I'll be running around the house like, yeah. But yeah, other than that, life is good. I'm okay. I hope all of y'all are okay. Be a quick post check. Gary said what did you say earlier? Did you say you was making it? I don't like that talk. I don't like that. Maintaining. Nah. You doing it. You doing the dang thing. You ain't maintaining. You got everything that you have need of, so there's no need to maintain. Walk it out. Walk it out. Bust it down. Walk it out. Walk it out. Bust it down. Walk it out. I'll pop in the song any minute. No. You making it. You doing it. Maintain just sounds still to me. I'm sorry, but you know how we are, tomato. It could be another thing to you, but it's maintaining sounds like I'm making it. I'm just sliding through. I'm all right, but I'm chilling. I'm maintaining. Ain't nothing falling apart. Ain't nothing growing. No. You want to fight? I'm not gonna let you be just maintaining. You're making it. And you know I'll fight you. Everything is a song. Everything is a dance. No, look, I wish y'all could see it. I'm gonna put that video on my It's this video, dude. It's a white lady, and the guy like look how excited, basically showing how excited his wife is about the Chris Brown concert. Man, she gets out the car and start doing this one move he was doing at the concert. It is so funny. It was me and my bonus baby, the boy. We was in here dancing last night to that song. Well, he was getting down. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be great. Silly. Every 10 minutes, I was like, these hoes ain't loyal. I don't know why I'm stuck on that song. Probably because the one that come to mind. It's too fun. Too exciting, though. I gotta go see Breezy. I really do. I don't even know. Let me look at the tickets and see if they went down online. Look, I have been on the watch because I refuse. Man, the ticket I wanted was like, man, I ain't even really want to pay it, but it was like $4.15. And I'm like, boy, for this seat right here and the rest of around them, it's like $1,000. Man, I just went through the process to see what it'd be like on like Afterpay or something. And that sucker was like, with all the fees and stuff, it was like $566. I said, oh no, never the mind. I can't see myself paying. I need to be closer. If I gotta drop $5, I need to be closer. I really do. Ain't no way. That ticket gone too now, boy. I can't wait till tomorrow. 10 o'clock. I'm gonna be there at 9:45. So when the door open, I'm gonna bust in there. I'm gonna get there by 9:30. Cause I don't know if other people had the same idea I got. So I need to be prepared for whatever. So I can just walk up to the window and say, yes, one for Chris Breezy, please. And then I'm gonna do a survey of the joint, cause you know you can sneak in any concert for real, for real. Shoot, the last time I went to R. Kelly, I snuck in the building. This dude was at the hotel. Well, I had seen them. I was at the hotel next to the stadium or whatever. And I'm in there chilling, like, yeah, I'm about to go over here and go to this show. He didn't have a ticket. We walked right in the door. They said he opened doors. No, I'm just kidding. Let me quit playing. Yeah, that's what I just said. When you get close to that thing, it's always gonna be some kind of chaos that kind of stir up, to try to throw you off your square or make you think it ain't right there when it truly is. It's right there. Your completion is like, you can flick it with your finger. Don't let the enemy cheat you out of that thought, you know. Hiccups are for a reason. I think that hiccups happen sometimes so that it helps us to iron out things before they may happen, after you think you've come to that complete stage. You know, you get a few months in of, here I am off of ride. Then about 3 months later, you run into something where if you had had that hiccup in the beginning, you knew how to iron that out while you're going through it. You know, there's a lesson in everything we go through. You know what I mean? Like even our hiccups, our downfalls. It's like we have to find a positive in everything we deem as negative, you know, or something we just ain't trying to deal with. We have to find a positive in it. And I now that's something I do. No matter what happens, I always try to find something positive in it. I mean, even in grief, like Lord knows I ain't want my parents to be gone, but I found something positive versus the pain. I didn't just focus on the pain I felt. I found what was positive in those situations. Losing a parent is not easy, but the positive thing was God chose them to be my parents, and they didn't leave me out here stupid. They're not in pain anymore. That's the positive out of it. They're no longer suffering. I didn't ever want to be the selfish daughter that wanted that loved one to hold on no matter how they felt, no matter what they were going through, no matter what they were feeling. That's not right, in my sight. That's not right. As bad as I didn't want my mom to leave, I'm like, I know that she doesn't want to be the shell of a woman she had been become with dementia. Looking at people, knowing she should know, but she can't remember, wanting to say something but can't articulate it. When I think about someone who becomes nonverbal in like dementia or Alzheimer's, I think about the pain they may feel that they can't say, my back hurt, my neck hurt, something's hurting. Think about all that stuff, when their quality of life deteriorates, you want them to have peace. So that was what I had to find in the passing of my parents. Peace in knowing that, not just as a cliche, oh, they're in a better place. Knowing in my heart they're in a better place. Understanding in my heart that God's will is God's will. And we all have a sun up and a sun down. That's the positive I found. Knowing that before my dad passed, I believe he was saved, but he asked. He asked for God to have grace. So we went over the prayer of salvation. Those are the positive things that I pull from in my loss. Knowing that conversation might have been the difference between my father, his final destination. I don't know every walk of my dad's life. I know that my dad was perfect in my eyes. But we all know none of us are perfect. So that's another strain of power. The ability to accept what is, and know that you can't change a lot of things. Don't waste your power trying to change something that you can. Don't get upset if you prayed for your loved one to be healed and they still passed away. God's will is God's will. However, that don't mean he didn't heal him. I always say that I prayed for my dad to be cancer free. I believe he passed away cancer free, and it was still God's will to take him. And that's how I deal with that. A lot of times people get upset and mad with God because that person, well, you said we had the power to heal. I laid hands. I did this. I did that. You might have healed them. You just got to trust and believe in your heart they were healed. And it was still their sundown. Mm-hmm. Everything has a time. But anywho, I guess I'm going to end this live and get up off of here and find something constructive to do with my life. Maybe I'll have me a cocktail. Was that constructive? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but like I said, I gotta rest while I'm off. Get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going and practice my dance moves. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear. I think I'm gonna wear this one dress if I'm allowed to leave the house in it. I have to see, cause I do listen to stuff like that. My man don't really like what I'm wearing. I have to compromise. Now, I ain't going too outrageous, but y'all know some of y'all men, y'all just don't like the fact that we curvy and we can't do nothing about it. Cause I ain't gonna never wear no paper bag. That's what we not gonna do. But this dress is so cute. So cute. Covers everything and it's long. It's just bit bam boom. Pow. Kapow. Yep. But anywho, I appreciate those that came on and listen to my rant about power. Know your power. Know that you have it, you possess it. Use it accordingly. Use it with confidence. Use it by faith. That's the true way to see things happen that you can only think of. You can't necessarily see right now, but you know it can happen, you know. Move in the power that God has given you. And as always, I hope I've said something that encouraged somebody, reminded you of something, maybe provoked you to think of someone else that could use a little pep talk, perhaps. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. As always, you're more than welcome to hit the Cash App. But again, the most important thing over here is like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, bring a friend. I am Meek Shear, your short hair specialist, here to encourage, share life with you, share the good news, be of some encouragement if I can, when I can. Have a little fun with you, have a few laughs, whatever it is that, we got going on, over here together. We kind of navigate through it. We have a lot of times where we share things that we're going through and everyone chips in. Everybody chimes in and no, I'm not wearing no paper bag, Gary. Everybody chimes in and kind of helps that person with what they're dealing with, whether it's by way of, oh, you're not the only one, or the good old, you got this, sis, you got this, bro. Whatever the case, that's what we're here for. As Marissa say, positive pages popping. I am one of those. I'm here to talk to 121 or 81. If I help one, I've done an amazing job, because we know that Jesus left the 99 for the one. So if you were the one, I'm elated. And until next time, which will be Thursday, I hope, if I got the words for the content, I will be back. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Bye-bye now.